how to read rhythms on the violin. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher. I've been playing the violin for over 20 years. I have my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance, and I am Suzuki trained. If you're enjoying my videos, please make sure you're subscribed. It really helps me out. And if you're interested in working with me, you can check the description for a private lesson application, as well as my online membership, Learn Violin Online. So first of all, what is rhythm? Rhythm's one of those things that is kind of like hard to describe in words, but you just have a general sense of what it is. But my definition of rhythm is really simple. It's how long or short the notes are. Rhythm can be complicated and maybe even harder than actually reading the notes. But with that being said, in this video, I'm going to go over the 10 most popular rhythms and rhythmic patterns. I'm going to show you how to play them with the metronome, and I'm going to give you words to help you remember them. So first, we're going to start out with quarter notes. Quarter notes get one beat. So the best way to work on your rhythms is to work with the metronome, which I'll be doing here. The metronome that I personally use is the Korg TM40. It's a metronome tuner combo that I'll leave linked in the description, but there's also a ton of free metronome apps that you can use too. I'm gonna have my metronome at 60 beats per minute. So quarter notes get one beat. So essentially you're going to be changing your bow with every click of the metronome. Never worked with the metronome before, it could be helpful to clap along with it before playing. Rhythm number 2 is half notes. So half notes get 2 beats, aka they get 2 clicks on the metronome. So you are going to make one bow last for 2 clicks. Generally, this means that you need to move your bow slower to play half notes than you would to play quarter notes. Rhythm number 3 is whole notes. So whole notes get 4 beats, which means they get 4 counts on the metronome. And if we were moving our bow slower for half notes, we need to move them even slower for whole notes. All right, so those 3, pretty straightforward. Rhythm number 4 is eighth notes, and here's where students generally start to run into trouble because we have to be dividing the beat. So essentially 2 eighth notes equal 1 quarter note, which means there are 2 eighth notes per beat. Each eighth note gets half of 1 beat. So when we're playing the eighth notes with the metronome, the first eighth note happens with the click, and the second eighth note happens in between the first click and the next click. Let me show you. Again, it could be a good idea to practice clapping first before playing. Another hack that I like to use with students who are having a little bit of trouble internalizing eighth notes is to double the metronome speed. So right now I'm at 60. If I bump it up to 120, it's the same speed that I had just played, except this time I'm bowing with every single click. So after you get the hang of that, after you internalize that, then you can go back down to 60, but your bow is going to be moving in the exact same way. My word for eighth notes is apple. I tried to make everything fruit or food themed, so if you're hungry, maybe this isn't the best video to watch, but you can think apple on eighth notes. Apple, 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 apple. Rhythm number 5 is triplets. So triplets are a little bit faster than eighth notes because you have to fit 3 notes in every click. Let me show you how they sound. The big thing with triplets is that you want them to be even. A lot of times, like the first 2 will be faster than the last one, or the first note will be longer than the other 2. Every single triplet should get the same amount of duration inside the click. So for me personally, when I'm playing triplets, I just think triplet, I know, not creative. But you could also think blueberry, 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 blueberry. Rhythm number 6 is 16th notes. So 16th notes, there are 4 16th notes inside 1 quarter note, 4 16th notes inside 1 beat. So essentially each of them get a fourth of a beat. They sound like this. Now, things you can do with your metronome is one, again, you can double the speed, right? You can go up to 120 and then just play eighth notes. That's going to be the same as playing 16th notes at 60. Also, my metronome allows me to change the beat. So I can do triplets. And 16th notes. That's super helpful for internalizing them at first. For our fruit for 16th notes, you can think watermelon. Watermelon, 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 watermelon. I don't like watermelon. Anyone else? All right, now we're getting into more complex rhythmic patterns. So rhythmic pattern number 7, is an eighth note followed by 2 16th notes. So whenever you have more complicated rhythmic patterns, the best thing that you can do is subdivide. So subdividing is essentially breaking notes down into their smallest common denominator. So our smallest note value here is 16th notes. So we know that 2 16th notes fit within 1 eighth note. So if I'm just thinking 2 16th notes while I'm playing that eighth note, that'll tell me how long to play it. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. If you don't want to do all that math, just think strawberry. Strawberry, 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 strawberry. Or if you're familiar with Suzuki or have used it in the past, that is variation 3. Yeah, run, pony, run, pony. That's how I learned it as a kid. Rhythmic pattern number 8, and I always get my numbers confused here, so if I did 6 twice or whatever, just be quiet about it, okay? I'm just kidding. It's essentially the opposite of that. It's 2 16th notes followed by an eighth note. Sounds like this. And you can think pineapple. Pineapple, 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 pineapple. And again, with both of these rhythms, if you change your metronome to 16th notes, that will help you count the 16th notes during your eighth note more easily. 1 2 1 2. Rhythm number 9 is dotted eighth 16th. So whenever you see a dot next to a note, it means that you add half of that note's value to the note. I know, math. But basically, a regular eighth note gets 1/2 of a beat. So 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/4. So a dotted eighth note gets 3/4 of a beat. So again, the best thing that you can do is to count those 16 notes in your head. But that rhythm sounds like this. And a lot of times the bowing will be hooked like this. Where both the dotted eighth and the 16th are going in the same bow direction. A good word for this, it's not fruit themed, but it's food themed. It's milkshake. Milkshake, 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 milkshake. But if you wanted to count instead, it would sound like this. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And our 10th and final rhythm is the opposite. It's 16th followed by a dotted eighth. So if our last rhythm was long short, this is short long. The word I created for this is ice cream. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. And as you can see, I'm drawing my bow much faster on the first note, on the shorter note, the 16th note, than on the longer note, the dotted eighth note. So there you have it. Those are the 10 most popular rhythms and how to play them, both with the metronome and with a helpful word to help you remember. One of the best things that you can do for rhythm is just to listen to your piece. That way you have an internalized sound of how it should go and you're not strictly stuck with counting. Because I don't know about you, but counting while I'm trying to play something can be hard sometimes. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you subscribe before you go.